So we're going to quickly just go over the parts function and how we can use that to get a bit of a more accurate assessment of the actual construction methods. So we're going to start by zooming in on our model here. If we take a look at one of our walls, these are masonry walls that are covered with an insulating finish. And if you see just by the way they're modeled, they go from grade all the way up to the roof level. And we know that that's probably not how they're going to be installed in the field, right? So we'll work on this one. Let me just pull up a plan view so we can see what we're looking at here. So you can see even from a cross-section view here that we've got two layers happening. We've got an interior structural layer and then we've got an exterior finish layer. And you can actually, over here in the properties box, if I click on edit type, it'll open up a dialog box with some further detail. And you can see that I've got a structure parameter here. If I click on edit, it shows me exactly what's going on with that wall. So it looks like we've got about 5 layers of material here. So here's our concrete masonry unit. This is our structural layer, and then we have a membrane and an exterior finish layer, and then another membrane and an interior finish. So it's kind of nice from a modeling perspective that with one tool, you click one button and you can place all 5 of those materials at one time. But obviously it's not ideal from a construction perspective. So we can change that though, so that's what we're going to do right now. So I have this wall already highlighted. You can see here that I've already assigned all my walls a task ID of 350, which would correspond to the 3rd floor. So what we're going to do is break this wall into 2 component pieces so that we can have the structural layer go in first, and then we'll have the finish layer go up when the curtain wall goes up. So I've highlighted my wall, so up here my Modify tab is highlighted. So if I look under my Create tab here, I have a button that says Create Parts. So I'm going to click on that button, and you can see now I can highlight each piece individually. And if you look over here now I have parts and I have 4 items highlighted instead of just that one wall. You'll also notice though that I lost my task ID button, and that's because I didn't have any parts in this drawing before I just created these 2 parts, so I didn't have an opportunity to add that parameter. So we're going to do that now really quick. We're going to go up to Manage, up to Project Parameters. Task ID is right here because we already placed it, so we're going to go to Modify. And then here I just need to find Parts. There it is. So I'll click on Parts, click OK, OK again, and OK, now you can see that my task ID now is available for these parts. So I'm going to highlight both of the exterior faces here, and I'm going to make those coincide with our curtain wall. So I'm going to call that 710. And then this interior face, I can break that further. Right now it still goes from grade all the way up to the roof. However, it'll probably be constructed more along the schedule with our floor levels. So what we can do here is I'm going to find an elevation. I'm going to go to the elevation view. I'm actually going to try and work in both of these views simultaneously here. So I'm in view and I'm going to click tile. And I'm going to get rid of this 3D view. I don't need that right now. So let's click tile again. Okay, so now I can work from two different perspectives here. So what I can do here is, do I have parts enabled for this view yet? No, I don't. Okay, so another button that comes available when I incorporate parts is right here. I have a parts visibility button on my view tab. So if I'm in this view, you can see now I have show parts highlighted. But if I click over to this one, my parts visibility says show original. So if I do want to see the individual parts, I can just use the drop down menu, click show parts. So now I can highlight, whoops, my individual pieces here. Oh. And you can see here what I've done is I've highlighted these exterior pieces, but I've left the structural face alone. So let's go back to this window. I'm going to right click and I'm going to hide in view just these elements. So here's my backup structure. So now what I can do, is highlight that wall. And then I'm going to come up here. I have a button called Divide Parts that's enabled. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to ask me to pick a work plane, which is why I opened up the other view here. I'll pick a plane highlighted. I go OK, and oops, I'm just going to pick this exterior face of the concrete masonry wall. Okay, so that's where I'm working. I'm going to come back to this window now. I'm going to click Edit Sketch, and I'm just going to draw a line, and I can draw as many lines as I want. I could break this into a checker pattern if I wanted to. Click Escape, draw another line, click Escape to end the line command. So then I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to click the check mark to exit the mode, check mark again to exit the editing. And now you can see that I've got 3 separate pieces of wall here, where before I only had one. So that's great. And so our last step now is going to be to associate each of these 3 pieces with a separate task. So I've highlighted that first one. I'm going to come over here and exterior wall. So this one will be 150. I'm going to make this one 250. And now I'm going to make the last one 350. Perfect. And then I had hidden some elements before, so I'm going to go down here in this view and click on the light bulb that says Reveal Hidden Elements. And it's going to highlight anything I've hidden in red. So I'm just going to quickly highlight, oops, that's not what I wanted. This one and this one. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say Unhide in View Elements so that they show up properly. Click the light bulb again, and it's back to normal. So that's how we use parts to break up items into more constructible components. That works for walls, and it also works for floors, and it works for splitting up different areas of the building if you want to work on a wing at a time.